Something significant just happened, and if you hold Iraqi Dinar or Vietnamese Dong, or if you've been watching these currencies for any length of time, you need to stay with me through every second of this video, because what we are about to break down today is not routine. This is the kind of update that experienced IQD holders have been quietly monitoring, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why. What if today's development is the piece of the puzzle that changes how serious investors are looking at the Iraqi dinar? What if the signals coming out of Baghdad right now are pointing to something that most casual observers are completely missing? These are the questions we're going to answer calmly, clearly, and honestly right now. Let's begin. For years, people have asked the same question about the Iraqi dinar. When will Iraq take meaningful steps to reform its currency and stabilize its economy at a level that reflects the country's actual wealth? Iraq sits on some of the largest proven oil reserves on the planet. Its reconstruction is ongoing. Its banking system has been undergoing slow but real transformation. And yet the dinar has remained in a suppressed position that many analysts argue does not reflect Iraq's true economic potential. That tension between what Iraq has and where its currency stands is the foundation of everything we are discussing today. So what exactly has been announced? The Central Bank of Iraq has signaled another phase in its ongoing effort to address the exchange rate gap between the official rate and the parallel market rate. For those who are newer to this topic, here's what that means in plain language. Iraq has two rates, the official government rate and the street market rate, also called the black market or parallel market rate. When these two rates are far apart, it creates economic instability, encourages dollar smuggling, and makes it harder for ordinary Iraqis and businesses to function. The CBI has been working to close that gap, and the latest announcement suggests pressure is intensifying. This matters because every time the CBI takes a serious step towards unifying those rates, it signals a deeper commitment to monetary reform, and that is something every IQ holder should be paying close attention to. But that's only part of the story. Now, layered on top of this is what is happening with the Vietnamese Dong. The Dong has long been watched alongside the dinar in certain investor communities, and there's a reason for that. Both currencies represent developing economies with significant natural resources and ongoing reform programs. Both have been deliberately kept at low valuations compared to the US dollar as a matter of monetary policy, and both have seen periodic signals from their respective central banks suggesting that revaluation discussions, whether gradual or more significant, are very much alive at the policy level. The announcement referenced in today's title relates to exchange rate policy adjustments that Vietnamese authorities have been quietly preparing, and the timing alongside Iraqi developments is something sophisticated observers are noting carefully. Here's what many investors are overlooking. When two currencies from resource-rich developing nations begin showing simultaneous monetary policy signals in the same news cycle, experienced analysts do not treat that as coincidence. They look at the broader global financial environment, and right now, that environment is significant. The US dollar has faced pressure from multiple directions: inflation management, Federal Reserve policy decisions, and a growing international conversation about dollar dependency in global trade. Countries like Iraq, which conduct the vast majority of their oil trade in dollars, are acutely sensitive to every shift in US monetary policy. When the dollar weakens, oil revenues in local currency terms can change. When the dollar strengthens, import costs rise. Iraq is navigating all of this real time, and the CBI's decisions are directly shaped by what is happening in Washington and on global markets. Iraq's oil revenues are also a critical piece of this picture. Iraq remains one of OPEC's largest producers, and recent oil market movements have had a direct impact on the Iraqi government's budget. Higher, sustained oil prices give Baghdad more fiscal flexibility, meaning more revenue to fund reforms, infrastructure, and the kind of economic stabilization that supports a stronger currency environment. Conversely, when oil prices drop, Iraq's reform timeline can slow. Right now, oil markets are experiencing their own set of pressures and opportunities, and where prices settle over the next several months will have a real bearing on how aggressively Iraq can pursue its currency and banking reforms. The next piece of this update could be even more important. Let's talk about what the Iraqi government has been doing on reform front beyond just the CBI. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudadi's administration has made economic diversification and anti-corruption reform central pillars of its agenda. There have been real steps taken: agreements with international financial institutions, efforts to bring more of Iraq's economy into the formal banking sector, and moves to reduce cash dependency. None of this happens overnight, but here's the historical context that matters. Every meaningful advance the Iraqi dinar has made over the past 2 decades has been preceded by exactly this kind of quiet, foundational work. Investors who understood that dynamic in earlier periods were better positioned to understand the timeline than those who were only watching for dramatic announcements. Now, what about the revaluation question, the RV that so many dinar holders have been asking about for years? This is where we must be very careful and very honest, because this community deserves clarity, not hype. There's no confirmed official revaluation announcement as of today. What exists are credible signals of ongoing reform, a genuine commitment from the CBI to address exchange rate distortions, and an economic backdrop that is more supportive of monetary progress than it has been in several years. Those are facts. What comes next? The timing, the magnitude, the specific mechanism remains uncertain, as it always does in currency markets. Responsible analysis means holding both of those realities at the same time, the genuine progress and the genuine uncertainty. This detail may change how investors view today's news. One thing that separates experienced IQD observers from newer ones is understanding what big change actually means. In the context of Iraqi monetary policy, Iraq does not operate like a Western central bank that issues a press release and immediately moves markets. Changes in Iraqi monetary policy are often announced in Arabic language official communications, implemented gradually, and only fully understood in retrospect. That means when signals emerge, even before they are widely reported in English language financial media, the investors who are paying the closest attention have an informational advantage. Today's announcement is an example of exactly that kind of signal. It is not a finished event, it is a chapter in a longer story. And understanding the full arc of that story is what this channel exists to help you do. Let's bring this all together. What we know today. The Central Bank of Iraq is actively working to close the gap between official and parallel market exchange rates, a genuine and important step in monetary stabilization. Vietnamese monetary authorities have signaled parallel adjustments in their own exchange rate framework, drawing renewed attention to developing economy currency dynamics globally. Iraq's oil revenues continue to provide the fiscal foundation needed to support these reforms, and the broader global financial environment, including U.S. dollar dynamics and international trade shifts, is creating a context in which developing nations with resource wealth are reassessing their currency strategies. What remains uncertain? The timing of any significant IQD revaluation, the specific mechanism through which it might occur, and the degree to which global market volatility could accelerate or delay these developments. Markets always carry uncertainty, and any analysis that tells you otherwise is not analysis, it is sales pitch. This channel will never be that. What you should do as an informed investor: stay educated, stay patient, and stay connected to credible, measured analysis rather than headlines designed to trigger emotion. The investors who have navigated IQD developments most successfully over time are the ones who understood the fundamentals, managed their expectations realistically, and never confused hope with strategy. If this kind of honest, in-depth analysis is what you've been looking for, then this is exactly where you need to be. Please take a moment right now to hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more serious IQD investors who are looking for real information. If you're not subscribed yet, subscribe now and turn on the notification bell so you are alerted the moment a new update drops. And if you know someone who holds Iraqi Dinar or Vietnamese Dong and would benefit from this level of analysis, share this video to them today. We are building a community of informed, serious investors here, and every share helps that community grow. We will see you in the next update.